Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone.
What is going on right now?
I think that I'm in love with Matthew Kachuk.
Are you guys all drunk?
I'm usually the last one to admit this, but I think we need a new intro for the new season.
Yes.
Yeah, that's got to happen, eh?
Yeah.
Although some podcasts just run with the same intro for like years and years.
Years and years. But we don't really have an audio signature. You know what that is? Where it's like a little tiny, like
the Netflix one? Or TMZ's? Dun dun dun.
We could do that.
We could.
What would you think it would be?
I don't know. It's a good idea to crowdsource.
Like an air horn.
Just one of the very generic sounds we have on here.
Just at the end of every Real Life podcast, you get the fail horn.
Congrats, you made it through, everybody.
This thing writes itself. I can't believe you have a green button dedicated to sad trombone. This is a hell of a company.
Yeah.
It's also this sad button. Good work. You listened to an hour of our podcast.
You don't
Can't have that
a
one,
better
though.
show to listen to.
Drew Carey will come after us.
Yeah, he might. We just lost the ability to monetize this on YouTube this week. So
Yeah.
good one, you're Chuck. All right, this episode 414, as always, brought to you by the HGA Group, here to make your business better. I got that new little thing up on the screen. Do you guys see that? Awful for the podcast, but look at the audio lines move while we talk.
What is that?
I don't know.
I like it.
It says it's being displayed in...
I don't like it. It looks like a stock chart of a company that's doing poorly.
Yeah, it's going, stocks are dropping.
Can you make one that goes up?
Yeah.
just look at it upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, we have a lot of stuff that we want to talk about today, but first off, no Jay and no Chalmers again.
Well,
What?
I've received a few DMs from people that said, no offense to everybody, but I like the three-man pod because I don't spend so much time trying to figure out who's talking.
That's actually a good point. There could be something to be said about having some sort of a shift rotation for this pod. People, we make a schedule. 3 people at a time.
We could get Excel opened up. We could start it. What is that?
A loud noise outside of our studio. People
I thought that
won't
was
hear
you,
that.
Bag Milk. I thought you were going,
I feel that way. Still having back issues. Working
Really?
through it. Yeah. I'm better.
because you're carrying the whole company. That's why.
I'm at about 80% now.
Good.
Better
Let me
where I
know
was
if you ever
3
need
days
a
ago.
little rub down.
Ooh.
I would absolutely love. I'll take you up on that. No,
Okay.
the casting couch you put in the new studio.
So we have these green couches.
Those are mine.
Those are Wanye's.
They're commercial grade.
Did you see what he did though?
They're
Yeah.
super nice.
Yeah.
But you can't do green if you plan on doing anything really on camera, because green screen, all that, green couch, it would look ridiculous. It looked like we're floating. We could make the background space, though, and do it.
Speaking of which, when Coombsy wrapped himself with the remainder of the green screen from last week, it gave me the idea that we should have floating Coombe head content of some
It'd
kind.
be funny. Also, Wanye, look how tight the green screen is
Yeah,
behind
it
us
is
now.
very
Isn't
well
that,
done.
Isn't that way nicer? Like, so much less excess
I
around
wish
us.
you would have been in here though when this was going down, because it took 4 of us to do
Yep.
this.
It was quite the process. Anyways, so I got a couch slip off Amazon, which is basically just a bed sheet.
Yep.
Could have just bought a bed sheet for a quarter of the price.
Sure, if
but
you're
whatever.
a chump.
And me and Maddie, our new marketing leader,
Right.
I think that's what we'd call her. She just helped me put it on, and it definitely looks like a casting couch.
Yeah.
When
No
I bought
way
that
around it.
couch, when I bought that couch here, Chuck, it was for the top floor of Little Brick. And when
Yeah.
I looked at the Little Brick before we did our renos, there was 4 bedrooms up there. And I'm like, there's so much room up here. Like, there's probably room for 30 people to work here. Jay's like, there's room for 6 people to work here. I'm like, I'm going to get a green couch for this other project I'm working on, and their company color is green. And I'm going to put it over there, and that's where all the people who work for that company are going to work. And Jay's like, there's no over there in a 900 square foot second floor of a house. You're never going to have anybody sitting there. So the fact that they're now here and being used, I was right.
There you go.
I was right.
Just should have got them in black.
The company color was bright green.
Makes sense.
Well, it doesn't really. Bag Milk, thoughts on green?
I remember when those couches, one of them also had a canopy on it.
Where did that go? I got that for a $1,200
I
extra.
know. I know.
Why?
Because I thought it'd look cool.
Yeah.
Fair.
I used to lay under there. It was nice.
It was like a top.
Yeah.
And then one day it was gone. And the
Who
holes
knows
are
where
still
that is,
there.
though?
They are.
Yeah.
Not
the
anymore
canopy's
because
gone
the
there.
cover's over it. The slip's over it.
Well, shit.
So basically, the behind the scenes of everything here is we have so much content going on, and now that we, as a company, own soccer properties, they're going to be recording out of here. So we needed a second studio.
How many shows do you say we have now?
I can answer that question for you relatively quickly here, actually.
Just coming out of the Edmonton office. Because we've got, there's daily face-off shows. There's going to be some TLN shows coming.
BLT bets every 2 weeks.
Okay, go ahead.
Better late than never. Nation Real Life, Oilers Nation Radio, Oilers Nation Every Day with Tyler Yaremchuk's coming. So that's 5 just Oilers Nation ran podcasts out of this office.
And then we're going to add
Kicked Back Sunday League Pundits.
Yeah.
Those are going to be recorded out here, the 2 soccer properties. So those are existing now. So now you're up to 7 shows that need to be recorded pretty much out of this office. You need more than one space. And everyone's always talking, like, we have a bunch of betting content we're going to do next year outside of the pod. And like Wanye, you're always talking about starting a pod. Like
I'm going to do a Portuguese Miley Cyrus based podcast.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm in the midst of learning Portuguese. I have Babbel.
Right.
It didn't accept my credit card. And so I'm on the free trial and it expired 3 weeks ago. So that's how that Miley Cyrus podcast is going. It's close.
Very close.
All right. Yeah, but the point is,
that's Portuguese for no.
If
not,
if we wanted to expand the content we're doing, we need no
more
space. So we built a second studio.
Where did you build it, pray tell? Where was this giant room in the Umperville block, and what was it prior devoted to?
It used to be Wanye's office. Now it's not.
My old office in Little Brick, they're like, you guys have to vacate because we need to make this into a toilet. I'm like, okay, I guess that's more important than us doing our internet magic. Move here, building my dreams, get out.
Yeah.
We need to do a Miley Cyrus podcast. I was going to do one, I said. A better one, you said.
Not only did we kick you out, I'm keeping your chairs and your TV.
Yeah. I bought a TV with my own money for my own office so I could watch video of people working harder than me on YouTube. Never installed it, and now Yaremchuk kept it.
Yeah. I did offer to go buy a new wall mount.
I've got a mount at home you can have. Right. I brought the mount home thinking I got to bring the TV home, and then you stopped me and said, I need that TV, Wanye.
Liam and I are going to go on an IKEA date tomorrow or Wednesday, and we're going to go buy some more shelves and whatnot for there too, and we're going to try and make this thing look really good so that the first episode of Oilers Nation Every Day that's on a game day will be the grand reveal of our new studio.
You got to get some blackout curtains on curtain rods.
I got blackout curtains are sitting out there. Curtain rods are coming from Amazon. I'm on top of this stuff.
You are on top of this stuff.
So is Jeff Bezos, apparently.
Yep.
Is he going to buy an NFL team?
Oh, yeah. He's in the mix, isn't he?
I thought he was in the mix for the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Phoenix Suns.
Why do you want to buy the Phoenix Suns?
Their owner was a creep and whatnot.
Okay, but like I can get...
Oh, like why would Jeff Bezos want the Phoenix? I don't know.
He's got so much fucking money.
He could buy the NFL, the entire league.
He could.
Here's what you do.
There was that funny picture of Bezos and Goodell sitting together at the game, and someone captioned it. They were like, Bezos is like, if the players just wore diapers, the games would go a lot quicker. You'd get more football in.
Bezos is probably going to be his own QB.
Oh,
I've got the blood of Tom Brady coursing through my veins for the $12 million a year.
He buys the Suns, and he's the starting point guard.
Fuck. Can you imagine?
Bezos, he's all jacked out there now.
Why would the Phoenix Suns? Ugh. I wouldn't want to do NBA just because then you're always going to get compared to Cuban.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a TikTok about him explaining like when he bought the Mavs versus what they're worth now. Like insane stuff.
He bought them for $258. They're now worth $2.5 billion.
The story of him selling broadcast.com is pretty impressive.
It is amazing.
Yeah, that was in the same TikTok I watched.
Was it?
Yeah.
They don't give him enough credit. They always
He
say like it was
invented
lucky.
streaming.
That's exactly it. It wasn't that it wasn't the broadcast.com revenue that he sold. It was the technology that allowed you to listen to anything over the internet.
Yeah, because he wanted to listen to basketball games specifically.
Yeah.
And it just kept evolving, he said, right? It was like, at first it was like, let's get the radio on the internet. Then it was like, well, let's get the video on the internet. And now the internet rules all. Now people are trying to find a way to get the internet on the radio.
Now everybody's trying to watch Oilers Nation Every Day with Tyler Yaremchuk starting October.
Who's the host of that?
Some guy. Anyways, I also have...
You missed... What day was that? Friday when we were here? We were coming up with segment ideas for Tyler's show, and fuck, were we having a good time.
So... we have the Brodown, Bag Milk's Brodown, which is going to be great
nice.
once a week. Frank Saravalli is also joining the show.
Wow.
We're trying to come up with a name for it.
I Hate Everything.
Well, I think...
by Frank Saravalli.
I think what we're going to do... He doesn't listen to this podcast.
I'm shocked to find that out.
Well, what I'm going to do is just... There's no name. Every week is a new name.
So I thought it'd be funny. You'd be like... Now, the cult of hockey with Frank Saravalli.
32 thoughts with Frank Saravalli. And see how long it takes for him to be like, if you don't knock
He'll
this
probably
off.
never listen to it after he's on it. So as long as you say it before you bring him on live,
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Like, does Frank ever listen to these?
Coach's Corner with Frank Saravalli.
Yeah.
Coach's Corner with Frank Saravalli is a big hit.
This is Star Wars with Frank Saravalli.
The Oilers rig with Frank Saravalli. It's like, oh no, cease and desist. Can't use that.
Not the Oilers rig.
So yeah, that's our idea for the Frank segment. Brock is going to be on week 1 to talk a little fantasy hockey.
Good.
Gregor yelled at me because he's like, "Why aren't I a guest on your show?" And I'm like, "It hasn't started, Jason. I promise you'll be a guest." And now Gregor's a part of it. There's a lot going on. And game days will always be, for the most part, I should say, myself and Jay. And that's kind of the format of the show. We launch in 7 days.
And Liam.
Liam will be on every show. And this new production wizard we've hired.
Who?
Alex Allard. He ran the Daily Faceoff show last year. So if you watch the Daily Faceoff show, you know kind of the professional vibe that show had. And we're going to kind of mesh that professional technology with some good Oilers Nation fun. It's going to be pretty interesting.
No wonder I don't have an office.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on around Oilers Nation, and we're building a second studio because of it. And that is all.
In this Tyler Yaremchuk show, hosted by whomever, I didn't hear any Miley Cyrus news at all in the concept.
Very little.
Are you just ignoring her new album that's due within months?
Is it actually?
No.
Oh.
I wish there was.
Why?
My Miley Cyrus podcast would go crazy in Portuguese. No. Sadly, nothing's expected from Miley. I liked Kennedy. I was just talking to her outside before the pod, and she said, I started getting excited about the Oilers because One Direction took an 18-month break. She's my spirit animal. I, too, was saddened when One Direction took an 18-month break. Unfortunately, I was already 14 years into doing Oilers Nation.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Oilers, that new store down in the Ice District.
Dreams.
Did you go?
No, I haven't gone yet.
Dreams. There's something majestic seeing that much merchandise of something you love in one place.
Have we done like a TikTok from there yet?
Well, Kennedy did some stories. I don't know if it translated over.
Waz and I should go drive over in the Nation truck and
Drive through the front window? Right, no.
Drive through the front.
Honk, smash.
Oilers Nation, what
Let's
up?
go Oilers.
Woo! They got the original doors from Rexall in
That's
there.
neat.
Unbelievable.
I do want to point out, though, it is borderline criminal to charge $320 for a hockey jersey.
Is
What?
that what they cost?
If
Is
you
that
go,
like just the
That's
new
not
rate?
fair.
Or is that just at that store?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just at the store, if that's going to be the new going rate. But when you go to
my
buy
Lord.
a home Oilers jersey with no name is $209, with McDavid on the back, $320. Drive
When
it
you
on.
ever go to Vintage Oilers on Twitter?
Yeah, sometimes. Good account.
You never go there, you're in Chuck?
No, I don't even know what this is.
You should check it out.
Yeah,
I don't know
check it out.
where they get their video from,
Yeah, fun stuff.
but it's Vintage Oilers footage. When you watch, they have footage so far back that people are still smoking in Rexall, which is quite funny. An alarmed fan, like, oh no, we're on the PK. Light me up a Dumouriez. Those were 1983 thoughts. But
times.
nobody's wearing a jersey. Like, they weren't even for sale. You have to hand it to the NHL and sports leagues in general for convincing us we need to be wearing a $350 shirt to like our team properly. Because back in the 80s, all you wore to a game was a pack of cigarettes.
Smoked them when your team got a power play.
You wore a dress shirt with a pocket in the front with your darts in it.
Is
I
Edmonton
actually
Oilers
thought-
power play brought to you by Marlboro, and everyone lights
Delicious.
up in the stands.
Players was the scoreboard sponsor, man. People were smoking in the arena.
Hell yeah.
You could buy smokes at concession.
Fuck yeah.
That's when men were men. No wonder we didn't have a World War III.
But you know, it
Whoa.
reminds me of
That wasn't into the mic though, so we're good.
that was very like the shake that came afterwards.
I
as
know
well.
that was a violent sneeze. I'm sorry, everybody.
A team that I thought actually did a really good job of
Smoking?
Well, of course, and marketing themselves is when we were in Toronto. I said this to Tyler. If you were walking around Rogers Center, everybody had Jays merch.
Really?
And like
Everybody.
majority jerseys.
Jerseys. A lot of people had jerseys and a hat, and like
Remarkable.
fucking whatever. But like everybody, hey, like a lot of them were new too. It wasn't like you'd be like, oh, that's a jersey from 1991. There was just new players everywhere.
It's impressive.
It was.
It is.
I still have a brand new unworn Zach Hyman.
Really?
That's a
from
good
last
jersey.
year.
How about this? I'm just looking on another site for jerseys, Fanatics. They have Jack Campbell orange jerseys for sale. He will never wear that. Interesting. Caught my eye.
Last night, first preseason game. Shout out to the Oilers absolutely pumping the Leafs. Big save, Dave. Not many big saves last night, Tyler. But what I wanted to say is the blue and orange jerseys seeing them back on ice.
They look
Look so good. And it just almost annoyed me that we had to do 6 years of the orange ones to get
6
back
years?
to this.
It's a borderline war crime.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many years in the new arena? I was trying to think of this the other day. Is it
2016-17 was the first year.
So this will be
6 years.
This will be the 6th season coming up.
7 years of Connor.
So we had
6 years
to,
of Rogers Place.
I'm just so happy those jerseys are back. They just look so good.
So good.
What do you think about the new alternates? If that is in fact,
I don't love them. I don't know. They're kind of whatever. But people get nostalgic about it because it's the McFarlane.
but
And
it isn't the McFarlane.
It's not.
It's not the McFarlane.
And
It's not what Mike Greer, Mike Comrie roar.
It's McFarlane adjacent.
And they're going to wear it 4 times. The reverse retros are more or less just a cash grab. I liked the other reverse retros. They had the first go around with the white and the
white and the orange.
Oh, those were sick
those
to
are
me.
nice.
I loved those. But I like the
them.
classic Oilers colors and look.
I think you got to tweak that McFarlane and bring back the OG copper and blue era.
Those are also good.
That'd be a sick reverse retro if they
Amazing.
did that. Connor in that would be dope.
Copper and blue, not. Why do they need to make this orange? I don't understand.
Because it's the 80s, right?
But the old look of the McFarlane sprocket.
Oh, like this one. Oh, yeah, I know.
yeah.
The old look of it. The classic McFarlane would have been better. I don't like that they added the orange either, but whatever.
I like
They're gonna wear
I'm
it like
more
4
open
times.
to this third jersey because I'm just happy it wasn't just the classic Oilers logo with different colors. I'm glad they just did something a little bit different.
They should have just put a big E on the front.
Yeah.
Someone
Just
just sent
write
me on
Edmonton.
a DM. It was a new Oilers hat, and it was a just a new O. Like it was just the letter O. Kind of looked like Oregon.
That's kind of cool. I like that minimalist kind
I-
of look. I think it's sharp.
Can I have a hot take?
Yeah.
I don't think the Oilers have very nice hats, generally speaking.
New.
That's why Oilers Nation had to make hats, because I concur.
When you go to an Oilers game, you see a lot of Nation gear hats.
Yeah.
And I think that is a compliment to how good ours are and also a comment about maybe how poor authentic NHL hats are.
Here, look at this hat.
Oh, it's literally just like a little slim O. That's neat.
I would never know that to be an Oilers hat, though.
No, I wouldn't either. But it would look good rocking it with like an Oilers hoodie or like a jersey. So I get it.
I don't get it.
Okay.
But, like, whatever. I don't have to get it.
No.
It's fine.
Preseason hockey. I sent out a tweet yesterday.
We're
and
undefeated, bitch.
I tweeted, if you read anything into the first preseason game of the year,
Which I do.
I have a Brendan Perlini stat line to show you.
Oh,
and,
how dare you.
And oceanfront property in Saskatchewan to sell you.
You know what, Yaremchuk? Can
How
we just have
dare
a
you.
moment to be happy?
Oh, can't have no fun.
So-
Would you rather not have been excited for Lamborghini Perlini, Vicky Perlini, Brett Perlini, and Papa Perlini? Would you rather that moment of our lives just sail past?
Yeah. So I sent that, and the result was countless people arguing in my mentions about Holloway and Puljujarvi. And it's like, the tweet literally says, I don't care about preseason hockey. And then everyone was like, you know what? I bet you
disagree.
Tyler cares about preseason
I
hockey.
love my preseason heroes.
Me too.
Really?
I love
Yeah,
the
man,
Ty Ratty Award.
He's the answer.
I love the Ty Ratty
It's
Award.
so
I
fun.
literally
I
bought
wanna
a
have
belt.
fun.
I literally bought a belt for the answer this year.
That is a cool idea. I'm excited to see what we do with that.
All
content
your
list.
wealth, power, and Twitter followers, and you trade it all for fun.
It's fun. I love a preseason champ.
Son of a bitch. Why? Man, that Lamborghini with his head as wheels, I still laugh.
That is funny. Like,
Well,
That only comes because of the preseason.
the first game, like I just saw people being like,
preseason
"Oh my
hero.
God, Dylan Holloway was unbelievable. He's making the team." And it's like he hasn't played against NHL. I don't know. I just feel like people are jumping to a lot of conclusions.
Dylan Holloway for Calder is what Tyler's saying right now.
Sure. I just don't believe it.
I
I don't know.
just thought I was happy to watch the game last night. That's all. I didn't have any real care about how things went, who scored, I mean, obviously it was nice that the
I didn't know you could watch it on YouTube. I was
Yeah,
watching
YouTube's
YouTube, listening to the game through the app.
Yeah, watching the game, and you know what? They did a really good job with the stream outside of a couple of little instances of buffering. It was nice. And having YouTube built into your TV, game changer.
I'm telling you, man, this is the life.
Game changer.
This is the life.
I would be all for YouTube getting the like exclusive rights deal for the NHL, and every game's on YouTube. But no like regional blackout bullshit. Like you can just straight up watch every single
You
game
got to
on YouTube.
think the consolidation of everything to just larger and larger reach is going to make that happen, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like when MLB does their games on YouTube, I think they're kind of cool.
I dislike when Jay's games go to what's it called? Apple.
Apple sucks. Apple can't figure it out.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I think they have bad broadcasts. I think it's funny how Thursday Night Football in the States, you can only watch Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. But since we have different like rules up here, TSN just broadcasts the Amazon Prime feed. It's very odd.
Did you see Bezos with the owner of the two teams there on the sidelines? And his arms are so ripped.
Jacked.
He's so yoked.
Yeah, he's jacked now.
Yeah.
He looks like he is only a couple of steps away from his evolution into living in a volcano.
For real. He's probably going to buy 2 NFL teams. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. You can only have one. He's like, I want 2.
And then
What do you think about that?
And he's going to like load one of them up every year,
Yeah,
like
defeat
make them
himself.
trade.
I can't wait till he and Elon both get so rich that they start buying sports teams to duel with each other.
I don't think Elon will ever go that road. I think
No, I don't
all
think so
his
either.
plans going forward aren't on terrestrial plane.
Again, I just rewatched that Mission to Mars documentary. Very interesting.
Do you ever worry that the Van Allen belts are so strong that everything in space is faked?
The Sean Van Allen belt?
What does that mean?
There's this thing called the Van Allen belt. It's like a radioactive shield around the Earth that prevents like things from flinging into our atmosphere and blowing us halfway to hell.
Okay.
And there's a theory among space enthusiasts that also are skeptics that we don't go to space with people because you'd have to have a lead-lined ship so thick to get through the Van Allen radiation belts that everything would fry inside of a spaceship.
Okay.
People would die.
So it's all fake.
Truman Show shit.
Okay.
It's all fake. But like Elon is sending ships up into low Earth orbit
Yeah.
and stuff like that. The idea is we go to space. We just can't get out of high Earth orbit because of these radioactive belts.
So it can't get higher than like where satellites are and shit,
Precisely.
and like the International Space Station.
Correct.
It's going to be more than a 6-hour flight, though, so you're fine.
Yeah, I won't go.
That would be my question for Elon, though, if I was to meet him on this podcast. If you haven't scheduled, is he scheduled for later today?
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Wow.
On
say-
Zoom.
Say, Elon, are you worried about the Sean Van Allen radiation? And he'd say, radiation? That's not a thing. I'd say, you are really Elon Musk. You passed the test. What if it's all fake, man? There's no way we went to the moon. You Ramcheck? Come on.
I could be convinced of that. Yep.
They say that the radio broadcaster on the moon shuttle that landed like on the Eagle
Yeah.
was 5 watts in power. Meaning this keychain for the Wanye mobile has more computing power and more range on it to open the car than that space shuttle. And yet we were talking to it in real time on the moon. Hello there, it's Richard Nixon. Hello, hello. Bullshit.
I'm telling you, yeah. If I could be convinced.
We only went to the moon during Richard Nixon's presidency. And then the minute he was done, we suddenly never went back. Now, 50 years later with SpaceX, are we going for real? Looks a little bit more legit. And then they're going to land on the moon and be like, hey, we did it again.
But it'd be for the first time in a long time.
If they get through the Van Allen radiation belt. What if
If
they
it
just
exists.
stick around in high Earth orbit and bullshit us so they can sell deodorant or whatever merchandising they're trying to pull off?
Sell deodorant.
SpaceX deodorant, if they get to Mars, I'd buy 5 sticks.
Oh, I'd buy that.
And they put like a big tarp on the moon, so every time you see it and it's a full moon, it's like an ad for SpaceX or
And it
their
just says,
deodorant.
you'll smell out of this world.
They're selling me jerseys
Damn
for
it.
$369. I'll take 10.
But they're
What'd you say they were?
advertising them on the moon.
310?
320. Not getting one.
Yikes.
That's where I draw the line.
Oh, I'll get one. I need to get a Reed Schaefer jersey, but I'm not convinced 53 is what we're going with.
There's no way.
I kind of want to get a Thunderbirds jersey.
D-Birds.
Hey,
That'd be cool.
Go Birds.
is he captain? He would be on my jersey. I don't even know or care if he is for real. I say, send me a Schaefer with a C. Sorry, sir, we can't do that. Just kidding. We're the WHL. We'll send you a jersey that says whatever 69, as long as we get our. How much is a WHL jersey game worn? Probably same price. Pieces of shit.
Probably not. Probably a lot.
Try to stick me with a 329 dub jersey.
Gonna go to whl.ca and there's no online.
Get
shop.
myself a Lindros Nordiques jersey. Wear that around. See what people have to say.
Not many of those out there.
I clicked job opportunities in the WHL. Though.
Nope.
You could work for the Edmonton Oil Kings. They're looking for a director of business ops.
Hey,
I feel like you could definitely do that.
thank you. I just come back here and be like, oh my God. Do you guys have any business opportunities for the Oil Kings? No. My new job is so hard.
The Thunderbirds aren't hiring. I was going to say, just get a job with the Thunderbirds and then force Reed Schaefer back to the NHL.
What if I just bought 20 seats at Thunderbirds games and made a big sign that says hit it here with a big target and I'm in the middle of the target?
Hit it
Hit it here, Reed. So this guy doesn't know shit. He's thinking baseball.
He doesn't know what game he's watching.
If I went to Seattle to interview Reed Schaefer on behalf of, I don't know, Wings Nation, do you think they'd grant me a press pass?
Oilers,
Probably.
they'd grant Oilers Nation a press pass, I think. I wouldn't
For
say.
the dub, for sure.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you think I could get in a room with Reed Schaefer?
100%.
Do you think I could lock the door? I mean, no. Do you? Could I? No.
Yeah, 100%.
When do they come to? If they come to Edmonton this year, I'll go and interview them. That'd be pretty easy.
How do you have the swag to say that?
Yeah, absolutely, you could do that.
Oh yeah. There you go. Put it
I
on the
just
list.
think in a world full of dystopian scenarios and high incidence of STDs, that Reed Schaefer is a rare win. You know? He just seems nice.
He does seem nice.
When he smiles, he means it. You know?
Beacon of light.
He's not one of these guys who's going to come into your city and get your hopes up
He's already from here.
and then not deliver.
He knows.
He says he loved Rollison growing up.
Who didn't?
Now,
Seattle doesn't come here this year.
Boo.
Edmonton
Really?
goes there on Friday, October 14th, and that's it.
Bezos won't allow it, probably.
I wouldn't go to Seattle. I watched a couple documentaries on YouTube about it. They've got some
Seattle?
crazy street crime going on down there. You walk around downtown Seattle, 95% chance you're going to die. Easily.
Allegedly, in our opinion.
Easily, it's 95%. They're just
On the low
stacking
end.
bodies up like cordwood.
It's on the low end.
And they got them garbage trucks that come every night like Times Square. They're just picking up the dead. That's Seattle for you. Better get there quick. There'll be like 8 people left in a week. The murder rate's 108% of the population annually.
It's just all Starbucks, no people.
Yep. And then Reed Schaefer and the T-Birds playing in front of 8 fans.
Just Wanye.
Yeah. Hit it here, Reed.
All his teammates are dead. It's just Reed Schaefer skating around by himself against the other team.
Being like, gee whiz, I hope I get to go to Edmonton.
Wouldn't that be fun?
It will be fun. I believe in him.
A friend of mine was telling me, well, it was Kennedy. Well, Kennedy's a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
That she was watching the Oilers at the game, and 2 kids in the stands behind her went, look, there's ginger beef. And that to me is what you call good traction for a new nickname.
Last night, I wish I could find the account, find the tweet, but last night somebody said ginger beef is the best nickname Oilers Nation's come up with in a long
It's
time.
pretty good.
It's fantastic.
Well, like, what are the other ones even?
Bison King,
Bison
you
King.
ass.
Oh, yeah.
legit.
Bison King's better than ginger beef.
What?
Easily.
No, it isn't.
Yes.
No.
Easily.
No.
Easily.
I disagree.
I think that was very situational.
Yeah,
Ginger beef's legit.
legit. And it has a oodle noodle tie-in if done correctly.
Delicious.
That is an important part of it, I
Remember
guess.
that 100% of the oodle noodle
Synergy.
social media team is on this podcast.
That is true.
Mag Milk and I are it.
Nobody makes more noodle-related memes than we do.
Not a soul on earth. If you pick your restaurants based on meme lord qualities, oodle noodle, winner.
100%.
Except for the ones we don't make. Those are shit.
I made one this morning.
Did you?
Look at him. Look at how disappointed he is when mom tells him he has to eat food at home.
Oh, that guy.
Disrespectful.
Follow us, Oodle Noodlegram, Instagram. Tell us how good our memes are.
You'll know. Well, there's Jack Bezos.
Like,
Double
what
the
is the
meme.
likelihood Bezos sues Oodle Noodle for a meme? It's got to be less than the mortality rate in downtown Seattle for a pedestrian.
You
Oh,
got to
sure.
be at that point for Bezos. It would just be easier for him to just buy you and end it. Be like, oh God, I could sue these guys, or I could just buy them and end their company, and
What
they'll
would he
never
want
become.
with 18 locations of Oodle Noodle and 2 factories? Say?
All the delicious nudes you could ever hope for.
When they bought Whole Foods, they've really done some amazing shit for Whole Foods.
Really?
You can go into a Whole Foods in Seattle if you're willing to run the gauntlet of the street people. And you walk around in Whole Foods. This is today's technology. No credit card, no nothing. Facial recognition software. And when you go to leave, it charges your account.
Are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm also in the. I'm fine with that.
You don't even show your face on the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like if I'm going into a store, I'm going to shop there anyway.
I trust Bezos.
Yeah, what is Bezos?
Look at them
gonna do?
arms. Those arms wouldn't let us astray. He owns the Washington Post. Democracy dies in darkness.
If I crumbled before him, he'd lift me up in those powerful arms and carry me forward.
Say, all that money, Jeff, and he can't fix that eye. She's wonky.
That's why he is.
You haven't
going
noticed?
Dr. Evil.
Is that a wonky eye?
I know Dr. Evil's Lorne Michaels.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. And in fact, if you listen to Dana Carvey's account of that, Mike Myers stole his impression of Lorne Michaels for Dr. Evil
From Dana Carvey.
from Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey was originally supposed to be Dr. Evil, according to Dana Carvey.
Here's my thing with Dana Carvey. What was that movie he had?
The
where he
turtle
was
one.
Yes. And then there was Subway ads where he was the turtle.
Yeah.
And then that movie flopped so fucking hard.
Master of Disguise.
We didn't hear from Dana Carvey again.
Yeah. Yep.
How dare you get a Subway deal when you haven't locked down your fucking screenplay, Dana? How dare you get to the end of the movie monetization pyramid and just go straight to Subway with a subpar movie to pump up? I don't want a fucking foot long. I ordered a foot long and got a 2-incher.
What about if Mark Messier sells you that foot long? He's back with Subway.
I don't understand those Subway ads. It's like when Jared Fogle left, they're just like, how about we just do crazy shit every 3 years? Like those Subway ads now about the refresh, it's like they're supposed to not be trying in the ad. It's supposed to be like, what the fuck?
Because there's a snowboarder guys also.
Mark McMorris or whatever.
Yeah.
Mark Messier, like his agent deserves some sort of prize. Why do people think Martin Brodeur and Mark Messier are the two most marketable NHL players?
That is true. Like
What
if
the
you want
fuck?
if you want a rental car, Martin Brodeur's your guy. If you want a sub, Mark Messier is your man.
So remember when he did those?
The Hey Connor commercials? Yeah.
So I was in Canmore and I did like a little riverboat day.
How do these two stories connect?
I'm also looking forward to this.
And the guy who's doing it was like talking to us, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yeah, hockey starts right away. He goes, well, you guys are hockey fans? We're like, yeah. And he goes, you remember those Mark Messier commercials where he's fly fishing?
Oh, boy.
And I was like, yeah. He goes, so I actually got hired to be like the guy who, hey, everyone, like get in my little boat. He's like, so I drove Mark Messier up there and they stood there and they started filming him. And the story goes something like, they start filming and they quickly realize like, holy shit, he's not just going to catch a fish. This is ridiculous. So he took the boat back to town, just bought a fish, went up, met him back there, put the fish on the line. But in the time it took them to get from town back to the spot, the fish just died in the cooler.
Oh, no.
So he was like, if you watch the commercial closely, you can see the fish is just like limp and dead.
Oh, no.
So that's how those two stories connect.
Here I thought he caught a live one.
Nope.
Bamboozled again.
Yeah. Tricked. Hollywood.
Oh,
Sorry, edit that out.
No, it's fine. You coughed off mic, so it should be okay.
Really?
Probably.
I can hear myself in my headphones, though.
Yeah.
It's always hard to tell, like, if you can hear yourself in your headphones or, like, if you push the mic really far away. Like, are you hearing yourself in your headphones or just with your ears?
Just the room.
Sometimes it's tricky.
That graph of that stock doing poorly didn't even spike when I coughed.
Yeah.
What does that track?
Honestly, don't know. Setting got turned on somehow. Can't figure out for the life of me how to turn it off. It's there forever.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I get it.
Let me tell you a story about the weekend, kids.
Okay.
The singer?
Yep. Crippling cocaine addiction.
Really?
Wrote a song about can't feel his face. They gave him a Kids' Choice Award. Does that strike you as helping a man who's in trouble?
And then he even
With
talked
substance
about
abuse?
how weird it was to get that in another song.
Yes, again about cocaine. Like
Really?
he's leaving clues for us.
I didn't know any of this.
Anywho, Wanye Jr., we had a boys' night over the weekend, you see. And he's just turned 2. So he can't get too far away from mom or he goes squirrely.
Sure.
We did an overnighter. And so we're having fun. We fight. That's basically what we do. We fist fight each other. He was told the other day at play school that he pummeled a kid, quote unquote. I say, you know where you learn them skills? Fighting me 21 hours a day. That's where. So we're doing somersaults before bed. Off the headboard of the bed. Somersault. I'm like, I wonder what happens if I just let him do somersaults as many times as he wants with no parental control. So he does another somersault, and then I'm like dangling him above me, and then he barfed right on my face. So we run into the bathroom, and poor little guy, he's puking everywhere. Turns out there is a ceiling to how many somersaults you can do. I didn't puke. I'm not a big puke guy, right? But anyways, I'm a father, clean up there, go downstairs, order a burrito. Thank you, DoorDash.
Delish.
Burrito comes. Afterwards, I'm like this. What's that taste?
No. It was on your beard.
It was the puke. I'd eaten a burrito, and somehow this puke had avoided my tongue. Then I puked into the sink my freshly eaten burrito.
Oh, no.
So the long and the short of it is, if you're like, Wanye, why do you look so slim and trim? It's because I'm binging and purging, boys. Wanye Jr. barfed on my face, and then I threw up a fresh burrito.
You had to waste $18 burrito.
Oh, my God. So then, in the morning, you ever heard the term sleeping like a baby? It's bullshit.
Okay.
Let me tell you about sleeping like a baby. Wanye Jr. comes into my bed 5:30 in the morning, sleeping like a baby. This kid was prepared for an MMA octagon. He's spinning around in his sleep. He's doing 360s. Woke up at one point. His face was literally right in front of my face. Hello. This kid sleeping like a baby's bullshit. Sits up, lies down, spins around, break dances, does a fucking helicopter. This is craziness. Sleeping like a baby? Sleeping like a baby means that you're break dancing in your sleep for 8 hours.
Punches your face like he's punching a Fig Newton into the carpet.
Poof.
Yep.
God, was
your
that
line.
thing crunchy.
Yeah, they just do. It reminds me of one time I had to, like, we were a bunch of us sharing hotel rooms, so, minimize cost. So I was sleeping with my niece, and she was a toddler at that time, and she probably kicked me in the head 3, 4, 5 times.
Like, how do the legs even get up there?
She was spinning. She was like
Spinning around
like a
man.
top.
Like he'll just be sleeping and he'll just like flop his legs up over his shoulders and shit. It's crazy.
Doesn't make sense.
They're so flexible.
It's almost like they have that that chemical that paralyzes you in your sleep or whatever it's called. Babies don't have that.
What?
Yeah, there's that thing. So it's like a thing where you fall asleep so your body doesn't move around.
Your body releases a chemical that
there's something like
paralyzes
that.
you.
I'll look it up. You guys talk about something else.
I sleep with a weighted blanket sometimes.
How weighted? 100 pounds?
8? No, 10?
Make you feel safe?
Sometimes it honestly, if I'm like anxious before I go to bed, I'm like nervous about the next day's work or whatever.
Yeah,
It actually really does like I stop for whatever it is. I don't know the science behind it, but I so the blanket's on me. It's like, hey, I'm not like worried about tomorrow. I'm just gonna fall asleep. It really does help with like my, I don't know, I want to call
Sleep
it
screaming?
Yeah, sleep terrors.
Night terrors?
Yeah, my night terrors are gone.
I have a huge fan beside my bed. Like not a rooftop fan, but like a fan if you're like drying paint. And I keep that shit on me.
Industrial sized.
Seriously, I do. And it's great in the summertime. Yep.
So the chemical is called
Screamamine.
gamma aminobutyric acid.
Knew that.
Your body can do that.
Yeah, so that kind of switches you off. So that if you're dreaming about fighting, you're not fighting whoever you're
Wanye
sleeping with.
Jr. does not possess that chemical.
Well, that's what I wonder. Like if you're young, you don't quite have the juice you need.
He's a funny guy.
Mhm.
The other final thing. So he's got a little moose. Mark Moussier. That's his real name.
Oh, that's awesome.
We call him Moosey, the moose. And if you don't have the moose, you're not going to bed, your M. Chuck. That's just the fucking
Makes sense.
facts of the situation. And you know what a sleep sack is?
No.
I do actually, yes.
I do not.
So I would actually like one of these things. It would help me with my night screams like your M. Chuck, but it's basically just like a little sleeping bag that his arms stick out of. So he doesn't need a blanket because he thrashes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Where is Moosey? We play this game, boys' night. I have no earthly idea where Moosey is. I look at the whole fucking house. I look outside the house. I look in the front lawn. I look in the toilet. Maybe he took Moosey, put him in a cupboard, playing a little joke on Daddy. Moosey is nowhere to be found. Goes to bed. He goes to bed. I look everywhere in this fucking house. It was in his sleep sack.
Oh, smart.
I think he did it to me on purpose. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, he's tricking you out.
I think he hid Moosey in his sleep sack because he was quite enjoying himself when I was looking everywhere and spazzing looking for the moose. And he just sat there in his sleep sack with the moose inside the sleep sack. This kid's a Bond villain. Where's Moosey? Open up in the morning. Moosey pops out of the sleep sack like a, I don't know, freshly cooked burrito. I said, this kid's 10 steps ahead of me the whole time.
That's so funny.
Anyways.
Giving you the side eye the whole time while you're looking.
Where's
at it.
Moosey? I'm like, wow, he's in your sleep sack. And he starts laughing.
Yeah.
You
Kids,
can
man.
buy adult versions of these.
Adult sleep sacks?
Yeah.
It's probably for them weird baby kinks.
Well, it just seems like there's ones where you can just put your arms out of the
You
hole.
can get a
what?
crib for a
Holes.
grown man, and you can wear a diaper and have a little. Like,
You could have
rattle
Tyler
and
change
shit.
you.
Yeah,
I mean, what?
you can pay somebody to come to your house off Craigslist. They'll do that for you. $65. Sleep sack.
$65, man. I'll come over and change you for $65. I won't.
Yeah, I would not. That's not worth it.
No.
For $65, I could get 1.5 Dylan Holloway shoutouts on Cameo.
Holloway.
Holibay's good.
Holloway, or Tyson Berry called him Hollywood.
I wonder if that one's gonna stick. Like, I like it, but I don't know how much.
You got to
I
be
like it.
real good to get the nickname Hollywood. I think.
Boys, life's short. I've had a barf to the face in the last 48 hours. I've seen my life flash before me. There is no way Dylan Holloway is being called Hollywood,
You almost called him Hollywood there.
but it's not going to work.
Holloway, I think, will be a fun
Holloway
fan
is
base
fine.
thing.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's no ginger beef.
No.
Whatever. I mean, the meme lords meme, and then the
Or as-
guys that go to the All-Star game and Dr. Connor do the real thing.
Call him-
Well, it's like Tyler said. What happens in the preseason is directly
Okay.
it's
What are the
directly
playoffs?
contributing to what happens in the regular
The
season.
playoffs are like a 2.5 month tournament
Yep.
at the end of the season. Everyone's tired. Everyone's beat up. How many Stanley Cups they give out? 1. Okay. The preseason is a tournament. 5-6 games. Everyone plays. No one's hurt. No one's tired. There's kids you'll never see again. They're coming up. They got an A on their jersey they have no business having. Who was the other captain of the Oilers the other night?
Puljujärvi?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, last night he had an A.
Who was against Winnipeg?
Puljujärvi had one last night.
I think like Fogle had one.
Yeah, I think Kulak or something.
Yeah, and like
Was it
Kulak.
Kulak the captain? Strange. It wasn't Connor, I'll tell you that much. I would
I love
argue
that.
that the preseason is more important than the playoffs. That's my point.
I
Yeah,
love
It is.
watching games and you just like, who the fuck is this?
Exactly.
And then you look at tonight. Have you looked at tonight's lineup against
Oh,
Seattle?
it's terrible.
Nobody's going to Seattle tonight.
Yamamoto's going because like he also has family dinner that night, and
Yeah.
like that's pretty much it.
And Tyson Barry's going because he wants to check out a new place before he gets traded there.
Before he gets traded for Carson Soucy,
Yeah.
damn it, they already have the jerseys made.
That's bizarre,
That is-
hey?
So wild.
So-
Why would they try to sell
you
a
think they did
Stahl jersey? It's so cheap. They're just trying to be cheap.
so
this is my theory.
Okay.
My theory is that, you know how when there's a trade that happens in the NHL and Oilers fans complain like we should have had it?
Yeah.
They put those jerseys in the locker room sale to like, we were working on Carson Soucy. We even had a jersey up. See? You can't get mad at us all the time.
Danny Heatley jersey.
Yeah.
So I know that leading up to the deadline, they will, and this is not a new thing, they'll get like 10 plus jerseys made. They'll be like, they'll talk to the sort of account rep deal, at least that's what I've heard, and be like, hey, we're close on bang, 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 bang. Tomorrow's the deadline or next week's the deadline. Have all these like ready to go with these numbers.
You're supposed to burn or shred them after, though. You're not supposed to sell off the
But like,
jerseys
how-
that are fucking-
I'll never forget when you sent me a screenshot of whatever you were watching on YouTube, and the guy was wearing like an Oilers Cup
champion
shirt.
hat.
That was like a prison doc, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've
was
seen it
so
twice. I've seen it on a hat on a guy in Africa who was, poor fella, like I think they were working at a garbage dump, like finding things of value. There he is with an Oilers hat on. And then it was an Asian prison. It was a cup-winning Oilers hat. It was an Asian prison. One of the prisoners had, I can't remember, I think it was in Thailand, an 06 Cup champion shirt.
Amazing.
Wow.
I was like, shit, I might go to prison for the rest of my life if I got to wear an 06 champion shirt.
So anyways, I actually think this is a total accident. Knowing what we know about the Oilers organization, they wouldn't just let this slip to be like, cheeky, like, let's see what the fan base does. I think this was straight up an accident. It got lost in the shuffle. When you're in the bowels of Rogers Place, there are racks of just jerseys on jerseys on
Really?
jerseys. Oh, yeah.
Cool.
So I think it was just an accident.
Nope.
It was like, hey, bring that rack out. Like, we're selling those. Yep, got it. Look through them. Yep, looks good. Someone who maybe like doesn't have great knowledge of the team was like, oh, that's probably just some Bakersfield guys that were here on camp. Like, let's put them out.
Who's the most surprising name of those four? for you?
Stahl.
Stahl was a surprising one for me.
Middleton.
Yeah.
Because like
Kate Middleton?
we heard them connected to Braun and Soucy. I mean, seeing Soucy was like, oh, so close. Why
So
couldn't we have
close.
him? Stahl was like, yeah, it made sense. He was a Red Wing, and like Ken Holland likes trading with them. But like Middleton was like he got traded for Capo Kakinen. So like that means if they were talking, it was probably gonna have to be like a Skinner for Middleton deal, which would have been wild. That's at least what I think. The Oilers roster tonight against Seattle, top line of Ryan Shore and Janmark, which could be the fourth line when the season starts. Hamblin, Benson, Yamamoto.
Oh, those are all stars.
Greg McKegg with Jake Vertanen.
Greggy Egg McKegg.
Yeah. And Reed Schaefer will play tonight again. And then Philp with Griffith and Esposito. Broberg Barry is probably the one thing that I'm keeping an eye on tonight.
Yeah, I'll be watching Broberg.
Do you know what Greg McKegg's favorite restaurant is?
No.
The Keg. Greg the Egg McKegg at the Keg. Well, I'd go there.
God damn.
There's an endorsement opportunity here, Greg.
Amen.
He must be so sick and tired of hearing egg jokes.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I do enjoy sending egg McKegg to Liam. Just randomly, I'll Photoshop an egg on McKegg and send it to Liam.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And
He's
he
a head
gets a
scout.
chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. His burger review did not get an update because Lloyd
Bummer.
Minster's concession was still. He's rattled.
I really enjoy that little bit he's doing.
Yeah. Okay. We only have a few minutes left. Got to give some love to Cattail Crossing and Alfa Romeo, two of our very fine sponsors. We're always posting about them. Also, DoorDash. Ding dong. Ding dong. That was me singing the ad read for DoorDash. Real Life DD gets 15% off, no delivery fees on your first order. Shout out to DoorDash. I want to talk about this quickly with you, Begged Milk Wanye. I'm sorry you will not find this interesting at all.
No, what sport?
Big Brother finale.
Oh, that's fine.
Monty made a $750,000 mistake.
He fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
his answers were so bad.
So bad.
Final two?
Yeah. It's like he was first and goal, just had to punch it in.
Well, and he should have brought Turner.
Well, that was mistake one.
Yeah.
Second down.
Yeah.
He just had to punch it in. And he did not.
Could not. And Taylor did a great speech
Taylor,
there.
to her credit. But she's like,
Pulled at
is
the
she not
heartstrings.
like a
She's a
beauty
pageant girl.
queen?
Yeah, she's
So she's used to answering questions
Yeah.
like this. So she nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, the best player did not win Big Brother this year.
So I was reading the guy who won Big Brother Canada this last year, Kevin. He was similar in the sense that he didn't win a ton, but at the end he turned it on. And his big thing is always that it's a social game. People all,
Which is totally true.
he was like, they always ignore it's a social game. It's a social game before a physical competition game. And his thing with Taylor, he predicted her winning. He actually predicted like 4 days before that Monty would win out, take Taylor, and he'll regret it because Taylor wins. And he was like, Taylor played an unbelievable social game, like dodging the bullets that she did. So like on that angle, it's fine. But I think Monty was the better player. I don't think the best player, all around player. Like
Yeah,
there's
I don't
something to be said. Playing a good social game, Monty was like never targeted seriously.
Ever.
People talked about it, but they're like, oh no, we like him. So they kept him. It's like, to me, he played a great social game too. I feel like he probably should have won. I feel like he should have brought Turner, but Taylor at the same time, it's impressive what she did, always escaping the block.
Shout out to the beauty queens on Big Brother, man.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hell
It's not
yeah.
easy to go to the final two.
I don't know. The way the season ended, I was just like,
Yeah.
because it was a good season. It was a good season of Big
It
Brother.
started so hot.
I just don't know that the best player won. Because I had, if you remember, first time we talked about this season on Big Brother, I picked Monty as my winner. So I was right there.
They've got like a
Right there.
5-episode window to capture me. You know what captured my heart last? JC.
JC Chazé?
No, wow, yes.
He went all the way to Final 3 or whatever.
Damn
too.
right
It
he
was, like,
did.
insane.
And I followed him on Instagram until he started doing weird sex stuff.
That'll happen.
Then I unfollowed him.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
He was
fun.
making like a series of erotic books with him as the star and sharing like his cover art. And I was like, I don't know.
Got to capitalize
He had
somehow.
one good head of household.
I was looking back at his season. He won like a weird amount.
JC?
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
I was like,
man.
how is he winning all these comps?
He was because he had a great memory. Clever.
I don't know. It was a good season of Big Brother, though. I was happy with it, generally speaking, outside of my horse not winning.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm using Fiverr
For?
to get some voiceover work done for my new show.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
You don't want me to do it?
We could.
I'll do it for $5.
That's the name of my sex tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just whatever, it's like $12, $14, get someone to voice a few lines, bang bang.
And once you get hooked on Fiverr, you realize you do not need anybody you know anymore.
Nope. Ooh, $42. That's expensive.
I'll do it for $6.
Ooh. That's the other name of my sex tape.
I'll do it for $6 the sequel.
That's right.
All right. I hate to do this, but we're
You
gonna.
get a hard out, don't you?
Yeah, we got a hard out. I got to do. I could leave you guys. No, we'll wrap it because we also have a meeting.
Why? What do
Bag Milk and I did this
We
show,
have a meeting at 2:30.
just the two of us for years, PS.
Yeah, we did.
We were fine.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
Yeah, we
tell
did
you a
need
thing
it.
we talked about other than Daddy Longneck, but what the hell? What'd you want from us? I had to drive all the way out of town, too. We didn't have this palace you work in now, your Chuck. Bloody 3-story tower.
I'm glad that you're excited about the Oilers Nation content meeting that's happening today.
Yep, but I got to get radio done with Vancouver. I'm on Sportsnet today, so I
Quads?
got to go do that. Not quads.
Nah.
I've never been on with quads. And I asked him, I was like, hey, man, can you do an interview for Oilers Nation Radio? And he was like, I'm busy. you fucking kidding me?
You
David
got big
Quadrelli?
time. Big time Quadrelli.
Quick pivot to Faber, though. Still good. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. Jay is the new Chalmers.
Leave us a review.
Yeah, leave us a review. We're going to do more
Leave
reviews
us a
on Thursday.
3-man show review.
Yeah, review the 3-man shows on Apple, and you have a chance to win yourself a Noodle prize pack.
Delish.
That are real.
Delicious.
It's totally real.
They are real.
We give this shit out, man.
Meh.
I like
It
it.
happens. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. This was a fun episode of the pod. Covered a lot of stuff, so we'll chat with you again on Thursday.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.